Okay, so we should be live. Let's see if it works, which it should, but we'll never know. I wonder what time the audio's gonna come through. Audio's gonna come through. Okay, we only have audio's gonna come through. Okay, we only have audio. Okay, so that's only a nice delay. Okay. Well, I guess I'll go over here and put it on the slideshow right here. Well, not slideshow. We want F11, and then in here. So yeah. Well, I guess technically it's upcoming, huh? Upcoming. All right, but we are live, so I guess we'll check in when people get in here. No idea if this is gonna go on loop back, so if you're just hearing me ramble right now, then good for you. There's one person watching. Hey, the only Felipe. What is up, my guy? Tell me how long you've been a fan of the channel. But for the only Felipe in here right now, we're gonna be here for pretty much all day one. Live announcing all the picks, analysis on each. So yeah, stick around. I'll give you my thoughts. You give me yours, and hopefully more people hop in here. If you got other people that you want to have hop in here, then invite them on over. So yeah. From Discord, huh? All right. No, yeah, and I mean, if you're new to the channel, you know, it's a bunch of football stuff. I'll have like draft grades and all that kind of crap, and I've got plenty of other just stuff from this draft cycle if you want to go check that out. I never got position rankings, but I've got like 7 round mocks up, like from a couple days ago, and a predictive mock on the first round. So all that, yeah, if you want to go check it out. So let's go ahead and tweet this out. Draft, live stream, sports. Well, we'll just say like draft. Draft day. Some rumors that the Texans are looking at Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. That's interesting. CP the Doc server. That's the. I'm trying to remember if that's the basketball one or the rap one. CP. Okay, yeah, the basketball one. All right, cool. Well, thanks for jumping in here. But we are 4 minutes away from the draft starting, so this will be fun. And yeah, looking like Jaguars are probably going to go Travon Walker. which I've been saying for like months. If you go back and look at my Twitter, remember tweeting out like a few months ago that like I bet Travon Walker's probably going to be the first pick, and it's looking more and more likely. So yep. Jets are real high on Sauce Gardner. Shouldn't be any news there, but To be honest, this number one talk for Travon Walker doesn't make all that much sense to me because he's just not worth it, in my opinion. He's actually not even he's not even on the screen here. The graphic that I have for the draft. Um, yeah, he's just not worth it. He's really not. He's like a third round guy to me, and that's just not worth the first overall pick, obviously. So all right, and the draft is about to kick off. So let me get this going. And to be honest, I'm wondering if I should switch my setup. I don't know if the one person in here is the only Felipe, but for whoever you are, um, if you want to talk, I'm cool to discuss with you. So, and sorry if you hear a feedback loop. I will get that fixed in a second if you can hear it. Alright, so I will be back in a quick second, but we still got a little bit before the draft actually kicks off. So if you're in here, just chill. I'll be back. Alright, you hear some noise, but that plugged in. We don't want that unplugged for sure. Alright, moving out. That's gonna get caught. Hold up. Okay, that should be plugged in and working, hopefully. We got ourselves a Pizza Hut commercial going at the moment. Hey, that guy's large 3 top and something. Ooh, we don't want that. Alright, well, here we are for the draft. Alright, well, let's kick it off. And we got our traditional cringe fest as Roger Goodell tries to embrace the hate. And it doesn't work. Derek Carr, Marcus Allen, and I'm not sure who the guy in the middle is. I also don't know how well you can hear this. Oh, it's Darren Waller, okay. You working? You connected? You good? Ice Cube, we got Ice Cube in the crowd. All right, this is probably scripted. We just got Ice Cube up here on the stage making a show and a little starting, what's the word? Motivation for the crowd, I suppose. Derek Carr has got a new weird haircut. Alright, and the Jaguars are officially on the clock, so we're going to change that. I can't type right now, apparently. Alright. And so there they are, the words we've been waiting to hear. 10 minutes, Jacksonville's up, and I do believe the pick is going to be Travon Walker at the end of the day. If I'm them, I'm taking Kayvon Thibodeau, me personally. It just seems like the best player to take at this point. But, you know, it's probably going to be Travon Walker, to be honest, so...
As of now, the Bears, the Colts, the Browns, the Dolphins. You will not hear from the Niners tonight or the Denver Broncos. The Raiders don't have a first-round pick, and the Rams candidly never have a first-round pick, so that doesn't come as a surprise. We are also left, again, as of now, because this is fluid, that 8 teams have multiple picks tonight, including, you see the Lions go early and late. The Jets and the Giants will have about an hour in the middle of our proceedings tonight, where New York will very much control what we see. But the word of the night is unpredictable. I cannot recall a year where we were at this stage where we felt we had as little certainty of what we're about to see as we have right now. So that said, now let's begin at the very top. The Jaguars are picking number 1. Who's the number 1 player on the board?
Aidan Hutchinson, defensive end for Michigan for me. Why? His production on the field from the start of the season to the end was outstanding. Yeah, the Georgia game, he was quiet. Paul was getting out of the quarterback hand quick. When you think about Aidan Hutchinson, that explosiveness right at the snap of the football, tremendous hand usage, which you see time and time again when you watch him. That's why he gets the best of those offensive tackles. That hand usage to me is just like Joey and Nick Bosa. And you think about that, he doesn't have tremendously long arms. That's what makes up for the lack of great arm length. And when you look at the motor, it never stops. The production, not just sacks. He was 14 sacks this year. That set a school record. But the tackles, he was 3rd in total tackles on that Michigan defense. The attitude, the approach that he brought. He had 3 sacks against Washington early on. Then he had 3 sacks against Penn State, 3 sacks against Ohio State. Then he gets a sack in the Big Ten championship game against Iowa. He did it over the course of the season on a consistent basis. Came back from an ankle injury 2 years ago. That's why he wasn't number 1 on the board when the season began, or even in the top 5 for that matter. So when you combine the attitude, the approach, and the athleticism, his 3-cone, his short shuttle, and his vertical were better than Travon Walker. And when you think about quickness out of the block, think about the ability technique-wise to get the best of that offensive tackle, he did it. And that's why Aidan Hutchinson there, for all is said and done, when you put all the boxes you check them all, Aiden Hutchinson's the number one player, not only defensive end, but overall on the big board.
And for me, Mel, it's got to be Trayvon Walker. I just look at him and I look at the word rare. He has rare ability. 6'5", 272 pounds, ran 4.51 in the 40. When I'm drafting number one overall, I'm not worried about what you did in college, Mel. I want to know what can you do for me in the National Football League.
You know, if there's one position that you want to have produced in college, it's edge. And Trayvon Walker never produced in college, so you really should care what he did before the NFL if you're an edge player. Like, he's an athletic freak, sure, but I don't know, man. There's just better players to take, and that's the simple of it. Maybe some players don't have as high a ceiling, but if you're Jacksonville, you're definitely not developing him into that, so it doesn't really make sense for me. Again, I think it'll be the pick, but it really should not be.
Outside of the top 10, we're talking about pick 12, 13, 14. Then I would say, hey, look, he probably represents tremendous value because, look, we all know that it's always about future performance projection when you're talking about college players because they haven't played the pros, right? But at some point in time, you have to kind of find the sweet spot between the testing and the production. Because I'll tell you this, if you're being drafted first overall,
They're probably going to take to 0 seconds on the clock, to be honest. Because you're really thinking here, do I take a potentially really good edge? Or do I take... Oh, the pick is in! So they only took 6 minutes.
Well, Greeny, a real mystery at the top of the draft means real anxiety in the green room. You can feel it. But right now, there's calm in Jacksonville. Doug Peterson telling me...
What's weird is they don't even have Trayvon Walker at the draft. I mean, I assume it's probably just because he's, you know, home. But I wonder when the last time it is that a number one pick is at home rather than at the draft itself, other than, you know, the COVID year, obviously, which, you know, Jaguars took Trevor Lawrence, but...
His father, Chris, was also a star in Michigan. Can't even look at his son without tearing up. They were all just huddling in the chair together with Aiden. It'll be a wild ride. Cue the crying, Greeny.
All right, well, I'm just gonna get ready here to announce it's Trayvon Walker.
So I'm told that the commissioner is ready to make his way out to the stage. The Jacksonville Jaguars, for the second consecutive year, will be making the first pick in the NFL draft. The crowd here is eager in its anticipation as Roger Goodell prepares to come on out here again. The expectation is that it'll either be Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker. I see the commissioner has now made his way out onto the stage, and he has the card. He's ready to...
All right. The first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft is Trayvon Walker, and there it is. Edge out of Georgia. Insane. Should not have been the pick, but it is indeed the pick. Yeah, you know, when you're talking about that one, and I've talked about it a lot already, even just right now, but, you know,
he's a super athletic prospect. He has an insane amount of upside, and there's absolutely no denying that. When you look at him play, there are some reps where he does display some ferocious pass rush, and he does. He does make some fantastic plays sometimes, but at the same time, he never produced in college. And that's just simply an issue if you're an edge going to the NFL. And, yeah, for me, it's just like, I don't get the pick. I think Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, Ikem Ekwonu, I think even Garrett Wilson would have just been much better picks. And it just doesn't make sense to me. And in fact, we've actually already got the Lions pick is already in, actually. So we're zooming ahead here. I think the pick it's pretty obviously going to be Aiden Hutchinson here as well. It was probably very easy that, you know, if the Jaguars didn't take him, then they were. So. But yeah, as far as the Trayvon Walker pick, I don't like it personally. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that's about the end of that for me. So moving up, we got Texans. There's gonna be a lot of editing involved with this. A lot of live editing that you guys get to see. I use Google Slides. That's what I use. 4, 5, 6, 7. Giants are up again at 7. All right, pick is in. We're gonna be waiting for that. I didn't even get time to show Aiden Hutchinson, or I guess that'll be my last guy selected. Picture, I guess. I'll just throw these up here pretty quickly. There's going to be a lot of that. All right, well, expect Aiden Hutchinson's about to be picked.
But this was about as quick as we've ever seen a team do this. That pick was in just seconds after Trayvon Walker was announced as the #1 overall selection. So we've had one pick made. Here comes Roger Goodell to announce the second pick in this year's draft. The Detroit Lions, who will select again tonight, currently scheduled to have the last pick in the first round. Here they are with selection #2.
All right, and the Jaguars are up. The Jaguars just went. Lions, second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. Aiden Hutchinson. Yep, made sense. Well, we gotta edit this.
An All-American for Bo Schembechler in Michigan. Now an emergency room doctor. America fell in love with this family, and now here he is. Exactly as expected, if he was still there at #2 for the Lions, they would run that card to the commissioner, and that is exactly
So far, my mock is pretty good because I'm 100% correct so far.
NFL draft.
Come on. Wait, Michigan. He's from Michigan. I gotta be quicker. We got a lot going on here. I'm tweeting it out. Follow my Twitter. That'll be in the. Actually, it's. No, yeah, it's in the description. It should be at least. But yeah, I'm tweeting out all the live picks on Twitter as well. So if you want to go follow that, we got 2 people in here now. So whoever's in here, thanks for being here. We're announcing all the picks live. I'm also tweeting them out on Twitter. but we'll be updating this as we go. Texans are on the clock with 5.5 minutes left. And so far, I'm 100% on my mock draft. But as far as the Aiden Hutchinson pick, I do like that pick. I think it's what they need for a team like Detroit that's not going to be competitive, of course. You want a guy that can go in there and just add something good to the team. And, he'll give you some good pass rush. At the very least, he's going to be a solid pass rusher at the next level, but definitely can turn into a higher-end player. I don't ever see him being an elite guy. He's not going to be top 10, but he can be a pretty good pass rusher at the next level for sure. And I think it's a good pickup for Michigan here. Well, yeah, for Detroit to keep the guy in Michigan. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and I like that pick. Alright, see, yeah, then you gotta do all this crap. No, wait.
He's the second Michigan defensive player to go top 5 in history. The other is in the Hall of Fame. He's Charles Woodson, and history also tells us recently that the number 2 pick has turned out to be great players. Take a look at these defenders that went number 2 overall, going back to Ndamukong Suh, Von Miller, who was MVP of the Super Bowl, Nick Bosa, the most important reason San Francisco was in the Super Bowl. Chase Young, of course, a terrific young player. Mel Kiper, he was number 1 on your board.
And 7 is going to be... who is 7? Hold a minute. Hold up. Oh, we need 8. We need 8, that's why. And the Texans pick is in.
Their defense was 31st in points allowed this past year. They obviously needed help on that side of the ball. It was a team that showed a lot of improvement as the year went on. We'll see what they're capable of. Now we turn our attention to Houston. Lewis, they could use probably a little bit of everything, and they have quite a few options in front of them.
They sure could. Look, they have really some really good players sitting here, right? You can use pass rush, you can use corner, you can use wide receiver, and right now there's some real good players that can wind up being all rookies, all pros, Pro Bowlers, maybe even potential Hall of Famers, still here as the third pick overall.
They have quite a good deal of draft capital. They traded Deshaun Watson to the Browns for 3 first-rounders, so we'll hear from them again tonight. But they were ready to go quickly here. Again, Ikem Ekwonu was
All right, so Houston.
offensive tackle. The corner on the board. We've yet to hear from any of the wide receivers from them.
And Lucky Smith is a defensive coach. Let's not forget that background. He must feel that defense.
The new head coach in Houston. Again, I'm told the commissioner is making his way out here shortly. As these picks are coming fast. So far, Trayvon Walker went number 1 to Jacksonville. Aiden Hutchinson going number 2 to Detroit. And almost immediately, the picks have come.
All right, and well, here's where the draft starts to get crazy because, to be honest, the first 2 picks were pretty easy to say what they were going to be. We don't really know what's going to happen right here, so I think it's going to be Derek Stingley, but...
The choice being made by the Houston Texans. They're clearing the stage as quickly as they can. And here comes the commissioner to announce the 3rd pick in this draft.
And the 3rd pick, the Houston Texans are going to select Derek Stingley, and I am 3 for 3 on my mock draft.
And so on an unpredictable night, we have our first big surprise. There was a moment in time when it looked like this might be the best player in the country. That moment was 3 years ago. He was a high school superstar, state player of the year as a senior. As a true freshman on LSU's national title team, he looked every bit the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He has not looked it since then. Porter McFarland, Derek Stingley goes number 3.
And there was an old song, Green, that said, can we talk
LSU. Where's LSU? Here's LSU.
2019, Green, where he was the best cornerback in college football on a national championship winning team. Simply put, Green, he is a cornerback with wide receiver skills at the position. When the ball
All right.
is in the air, he plays the ball like
And Jets have 6 minutes on the clock, but yeah, the Texans go Derek Stingley here. And again, I mean, I made the, me personally, I like the pick. I probably would have ended up going with one of the tackles, probably. You know, if Aiden Hutchinson was here, obviously I probably would have gone there. But nonetheless, it's a good pick. You know, you get yourself a very high upside corner here. An absolutely high upside corner. That is going to play some dang good football for the Houston Texans. And that's really the basics of it, is you give him maybe... He might take a year to get going, but after a year, really, you give him Lovie Smith, he will turn into a star corner in this league, and I think it'll be a good pick here for the Texans.
The Giants will pick at 5 and 7. They're coming fast and furious, and you're watching the NFL Draft on ESPN.
I remember the day you asked, "What now, Dad?" So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course you didn't listen. You showed me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
What if you were a gigantic
So, as far as the Jets,
and you had to follow a massively complex supply chain to satisfy cravings?
I gotta imagine they're going to Kemikwana here.
So you partner with
You
a
know,
consultant to bring together
again, it's a pick that makes a lot of sense. They need offensive line help. Mekhi Becton looks like he's about to get traded.
sesame goodness.
Yeah, you need some tackle help, and that's basically the end of it. So,
Let's create
you could go Evan Neal, but I think he's more versatile. And that's, crazy for a guy like Evan Neal, who is already versatile, but, Kemikwana just more. So, I think it makes sense for, for the Jets to pick, so.
come back.
They are taking the longest time out of any team so far, actually, through the draft. So they have 3.5 minutes left, and like I said, I gotta imagine you're going Ika Mekwanu here, but who knows? I mean, they might surprise us. I think it's totally still realistic that Kyle Hamilton goes at this spot. Absolutely could go Kayvon Thibodeau, although I don't think it'll happen. He's just not a good fit in that defense. Garrett Wilson is a legit option here. Evan Neal, it could be a number of guys. I think they go at Kemikwana. Either way, they're taking their time with the pick, though, giving the Giants some time to think about their pick for sure.
Let's go places.
And finally, the pick is in. So we'll be switching out these graphics now.
Yeah. Same dip, different day.
Spice up
Pick
that bite with the new White Hot Ranch
and-
nacho fries at Taco Bell.
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. Cause I'm paying so much for home internet and that's just wrong.
I've got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy, very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one core.
Roll on.
Introducing T-Mobile 5G.
And 8 is, or 9 is the Seahawks. We got 3 people in here. If you guys are in here, give me a quick shout out that you're in here. I'll give you a quick shout out. Who's your team? Who do you got? Who do you want your team to pick? There's gonna be a lot of editing in here, but we're just gonna be doing that while announcing the picks and stuff, giving my thoughts on stuff. But if you got any friends that might enjoy the stream here, go on and invite them as well.
We're back in Las Vegas where the picks are coming fast and furious, and if you're in
And despite the Jets taking, 7 minutes with their picks, the picks have been coming in relatively fast compared to, normally how fast the picks come in on day one. So
59, but over the next hour, they control this draft. The Jets with picks 4 and 10, the Giants at 5 and 7. The Jets on the clock, and they got here faster than we expected as these picks came in so quickly. Mel Kiper, which direction should they be looking right now?
I think you mesh picks when you have
what's up, Ani? Is it Ani or Oni? Either way, welcome to the stream, my guy. Hope you have fun here. Invite your friends if you got them. Who's your team?
for Zach Wilson. Drake London, Derek Wilson certainly makes sense. And at this spot, Sauce Gardner, cornerback Cincinnati, that lockdown
Oh, it's from Atlas, huh? Browns and Bengals fan. Interesting, very nice. Browns don't pick, obviously. Bengals will be up like in a few hours. But until then, hope you enjoy hanging out with us. If you want to come back then, or obviously, I'd prefer if you stay however long you want. But Roger Goodell is making his way up to the podium to announce the Jets' first pick of the first round. Yep, I'm gonna go Ken McWanu here. And with the fourth pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets are going to take Ahmad Gardner. All right, then. We see 2 corners go in the top 4, which I don't know the last time that happened. Yeah, I could not tell you the last time that happened. But I like the pick. I would have obviously preferred Derek Stingley if you wanted to go corner here, but I think Sauce is still a phenomenal player to get at this point. He's going to fit really nicely into that defense and probably is going to turn into a star player at the next level. But he's a good zone corner. I do view him as mainly like more of a man corner, but I think he's better at man than a lot of guys are going to be anyways, though. Yeah, I still like the pick, but I don't know how I feel taking the second best corner at number 4, but it is what it is. It's still definitely a weird pick, but yeah. Okay, moving on. Well, we might as well have them over here. All right, we're gonna have a quick transition period, so I'm gonna go silent for a sec. Are we working now, microphone? Are we working now? We should be working now.
For not one contract, for maybe 2 or 3, because they've had some great pass rushers in their history in New York, going back to the 80s and 90s. But over the past 2 years, as far as their pass rush win rate, they've been amongst the worst in the NFL. There are expectations on him now when he is healthy to go ahead and
All right, we are working.
for this defense.
Anyways, Kayvon Thibodeau. I'd rather wait until 7 to pick him, to be honest, because you know Carolina's going to go a tackle here more than likely. If not quarterback, then whatever. You get your pick of the crop at 7, but I don't know why not just take the tackle, because then you get your pick of the crop at guaranteed. You know, it's at 7, because if you take a tackle now, Carolina has the 2nd pick, right? So, I don't know. For me, I think makes more sense to go Kayvon Thibodeau with the 7th overall pick. As far as the Panthers here, really would like them to go Malik Willis. I think it makes a lot of sense. He would give them a great quarterback in the future, and he's going to give them a successful future, most likely. But to be honest, I'm scared they're going to go Kenny Pickett here. So hopefully not for the Panthers fans' sake, but it's probably going to be Kenny Pickett. The Panthers also taking their time here for the pick, as they have 2 minutes left. That's the most time a team's taken so far. You can't watch me, I'm sorry. Because it has to be quiet in here. Adrian, come on. Don't do this. I do can't. Alright, Panthers pick is finally in with 1.5 minutes left on the clock.
From the makers of Blue Moon, savor every sip.
And, let's see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 11 is the Commanders. Come on. Oh, I still haven't even updated this screen I have here. You want to get some quick tips on how to do this kind of stuff? Well, you're seeing it right now. It's a bunch of Google, and for me at least, cheap Google Slides software. Alright, Panthers on the clock. The last pick being Kayvon Thibodeau.
What do you think?
I agree. 17 and 18 is why I have Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. And I think you look at the offensive tackles you have right now. Ike Ekwonu at number 2 on the big board. Evan Neal in that top 5-6 area. Same thing with Charles Cross right after. So these 3 offensive tackles have high grade. You're picking a 26, you need somebody inside your top 5 when you're bored. And if they have one of the quarterbacks, fine, that's their opinion. I disagree with it. We'll see what happens. But certainly offensive tackle, the issue. Sam Darnold's your quarterback, right? The offensive line was bad. They didn't have McCaffrey. They added Austin Corbett, Bradley Bozeman. They still need the left tackle. That's the position. They could use a pass rusher.
I really hope Malik Willis is the pick here for the Panthers fans.
You got to help Sam Darnold out, help that offensive line out. You added Austin and Corbett. Now get Ike Ekwonu, Evan Neal, or Charles Cross, whoever they prefer those three. My pick would be Ike Ekwonu. I love this one.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think this is way too high for the quarterbacks. They can go get a strike. It's going to be a while for them. If you're the Carolina Panthers, even though Matt Rhule has got to save his job, I think you have to go with the best tackle on the board. If that's Neal or Ekwonu, I think it's Ekwonu.
Yeah, it's all about value, right? That's what you're trying to do. Maximize value.
I really, sadly, I think it's going to be Kenny Pickett, which no offense to Kenny Pickett because I like the guy. I was high on him before anyone else, but he just should not be the pick for Carolina here.
As we speak right now, do not have a selection in either the second or the third round. They traded those to acquire Sam Darnold last year. So let's see what they do at number 6.
All right. With the number 6 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Ikem Ekwonu. All right, well, it's not a quarterback, but it's going to help out Sam Darnold for sure. And it's definitely a better pick than Kenny Pickett, but not a better pick than Malik Willis. Again, tweeting out the picks. That's what I'm doing right now. So if you want to go follow that. All right. Pick is Ikem Ekwonu. Now, I gotta say, this was not a pick that I ever made in any of my mock drafts. But I do like it, though. It's a good pickup for Carolina for sure. He is absolutely going to play great for you, most likely at left tackle, obviously, but can certainly switch into guard if you need him to. Yeah, I think it's a good pickup for Carolina here. Still want to take Malik Willis personally, but it's a good pickup nonetheless.
He's a great technician this year. He mirrored, he showed tremendous ability, keeping his range between the defensive end and the quarterback. That improvement signaled to me he could be a great thrower right away. He's got long arms, he's 6'4", 310, ran 4.93.
It's kind of one of those picks where it's like, I don't really see it coming, right? Like, it's just not something you're thinking of, and then it happens, and you're like, all right, yeah, you can see that.
And I want to applaud Scott Fitterer and Matt Rhule because it would have been easy to reach for a quarterback they need. When your former son, Sam Darnold, he struggled down there a little bit. But at some point, they made the best pick, really. They got the best player. So I'm going to applaud Carolina. They didn't take the cheap. They didn't take the bait. They took the best player and not the best quarterback.
By the way, we've mentioned that Ekwonu goes by the nickname of Icky. A coach gave him that nickname because he said he looked like...
For the one person that's been sticking in here, I am probably going to have to take a quick break. I'll probably miss 4 or 5 picks. I'll probably take that. I'll have to think about it, but it'll be sometime soon.
And so the Giants go back on the board now. It's a good time for us to take a glance at Mel's best available players, which is brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. And again, it's been a fascinating night. The Giants have already made a selection of Kayvon Thibodeau. And so with the Giants on the clock, let's take a look at Mel's best available players. You have the safety out of Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton. You have another offensive tackle, Evan Neal, that's the direction we thought maybe the Giants would go earlier. We've not yet seen the wide receivers go off the board, Wilson and London. And so, Mel, you talked about packaging the two picks together, if you will. The Giants going at 5 and 7. It took
12 is the Vikings? Yeah, Vikings.
maybe knowing that the offensive tackle they wanted, maybe they'd be happy with either one of them that wound up sitting at their spot at 7.
Exactly. And here you're thinking about Daniel Jones. Sam Darnold now has it coming in, right, along with Corbett and Bozeman. Help that offensive line, which was not good at Carolina. McCaffrey got hurt. They were 3-0 till McCaffrey went down. So now you get McCaffrey helping, help the line, help Sam Darnold. You think about Daniel Jones. This is the year that he has to really put it all together. Everything's going wrong around him. We've talked about that. I still believe in Daniel Jones. A lot of people don't. I do. And I think the offensive line now, you address that right tackle spot. Thomas is developing at left tackle.
Watch the Giants go Malik Willis here. They should go Evan Neal, but watch him go. Watch him go quarterback.
So the offensive tackles are sitting there for the Giants. They seem to address that need every year. Is that the direction they go? We'll find out.
I imagine I'll probably take that actually after the Falcons pick, probably. So. Alright, 7th pick in the draft. The Giants are going to take Evan Neal. Good pick for the Giants here. And they do come out with the 2 guys that I had them taking in my mock draft. Imagine telling a Giants fan, like, last August that in the draft they were going to get Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. So at 8 for the Falcons, I really want to see Garrett Wilson. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad at Malik Willis at this spot either, because he needs your quarterback in the future, and, you know. And I mean, is Malik Willis probably going to be your quarterback in the future if you take him to Atlanta? No, but I still want to take the bet at least. If I'm Atlanta, I'm definitely going Garrett Wilson here, and I don't really have to think about it. Like, Charles Cross maybe, but, you know, it's a pretty easy pick for me to go with Garrett Wilson here.
is is now about to commence. So Brian Daboll, it's on you, right? Rick Martindale, it's on you to now take these guys and develop and utilize them. Because like you said, look, Dave Gettleman drafted these positions. It just didn't work. So now you guys have to make it work.
I'll say this too, there was a moment in time in January where we thought the Kayvon Thibodeau
All right, Falcons pick is in. So, like I said, I'd really like to see Garrett Wilson here. Makes a lot of sense to me. It's what I would do.
the pick is in. We've not seen any wide receivers go off the board yet, and the Falcons most certainly need them. Matt Ryan, of course, has been traded to Indianapolis. The Falcons received a third-round pick this year for their longtime stand-up quarterback, and they really struggled to find production at the receiver position last year, particularly with the circumstances surrounding Calvin Ridley, who has been suspended at least through this entire season. Kyle Pitts, whom they took at number 4 overall last year, by far their most productive weapon. Now, very quickly, what do we expect to see here as we wait for the commissioner?
Well, wide receiver, we talked about with Garrett Wilson, Ohio State, Drake London, and James.
Yeah, and even Mel Kiper's talking about Garrett Wilson, which just really, for me, would just, again, be the easy pick here. But who knows what the Falcons are going to do.
And a pass rusher. They can go any direction. This is a team's got a lot of holes.
It's an interesting circumstance. The division, Tom Brady is back there.
And 13 is the Texans.
The Falcons feel like a team that's rebuilding. They could look in almost any direction.
They sure could. Look, they've been one of the worst pass rushing teams in the NFL, but they are devoid of talent at wide receiver. It's got to be one of those two spots.
No doubt. Wide receiver, you talk about Garrett Wilson, and defensive end, we can go Jermaine Johnson. One of those two, three out there.
We're going to find out right now. Here's Roger Goodell for the
All right, and Roger Goodell is in for the pick here. The 8th pick in the 2022 draft, the Falcons are going to take Drake London. So they go receiver, but they go with a very scheme-specific receiver. Does that scheme fit Atlanta? I don't know. And I don't really think so, to be honest. So, not a fan of that pick, really. Alright, well, with that, though, I'm not ending the stream. I'll keep the stream going, but I am going to be gone for a few picks, so probably going to be gone for these guys, but I will try to be back by then, though, so until then. Enjoy this picture of Drake London, who is going to be a Jet, apparently, and gotta say the Jets, or Falcon, apparently, and I gotta say I'm not a fan of the pick, but I will be back as quick as I can for you guys, and yeah, see you then. I'll keep the stream up for you, and yeah, see you then. All right, and I am back after thankfully only missing one pick, and it looks like the Seahawks took Charles Cross, which, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, and I like the pick. The Jets are on, or pick is in. But I mean, yeah, with the Jets there, man. I'm gonna sound a little quiet here for a second, but for the Jets, I mean, that is a good pick because I had him taking Devin Lloyd out of Utah, and at the end of the day, if you're able to get a guy like Charles Cross at 9 when he's expected to go much higher than that, I mean, you're getting yourself a great tackle. You're getting yourself a guy that has a very high upside in him and can legit be a top-tier tackle. And for a team that really needs some help at tackle right now, great pick. But the Jets are up at their second pick of the first round, and they're going to go with Garrett Wilson, and that is an absolute W for the Jets here. You're getting Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. That is a W by the Jets. Not only are you getting one of the more phenomenal defensive players in this class at a position of need, you're also going to get, in my opinion, probably the greatest offensive player in this class, besides offensive line. The best playmaker in this class for Zach Wilson. I think these Jets just made 2 phenomenal picks here in the first round, and they still have 2 other top 50 picks. So the Jets, for me, although getting KT and Evan Neal were great pickups for the Giants, I mean, I think the Jets so far pretty easily have to be the winners of this draft because those are 2 phenomenal picks for the Jets. Last pick was Garrett Wilson. And yeah, I mean, another pick where it's like I never made that pick in any of my mock drafts, but as an actual pick here for the Jets, it is a fantastic pickup. And I'm very excited for these Jets for next year because, yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs in just a very, very competitive AFC, but give them a couple years and they're going to be a threat in the league. So then, hold on, that would be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, what are we looking at? Ravens, Eagles, Saints. Where are the Ravens at? Ravens, Eagles, and Saints. All right, we're getting this all updated and situated here. So yeah, Washington on the clock, and we are set there. All right. do here, but that's pretty crazy. And the Saints are going to pick Chris Olave. And I'm not the biggest fan of Olave going this high. I just simply don't think he's worth it, especially not trading up for it. I get you like a player, and I do think he is a good fit in New Orleans, but he's just not worth trading up for, in my opinion. So... So, yeah, it looks like both Ohio State receivers go back-to-back here. Or no, because the 10th pick was, 10th pick was Garrett Wilson. Why? So I already had him up then, never mind.